Manchester City fans are known for being the arrogantly lucky because, after decades in the wilderness and living in their noisy neighbour's shadow, a sudden, massive influx of cash turned them into a global powerhouse. They're enjoying unprecedented success, but they're acutely aware of the "bought it" accusations, which fuels a persistent defensiveness and an eagerness to remind everyone they were there before the money, often with a dismissive air towards rivals. A core tenet of their fan base is that while the recent success is sweet, they were true fans before the money. They often talk about the lean years, the main road days, and their long, suffering loyalty to validate their newfound dominance, implicitly suggesting others don't get it. The rivalry with Manchester United is incredibly personal. It's about proving they are now the kings of Manchester, definitively, and letting everyone know it. When it comes to transfers, they've gotten used to signing pretty much anyone they want, so anything less than a world-class arrival is met with a mild shrug, or perhaps a tactical debate about squad depth. They're quick to hail new signings as brilliant tactical fits. Managerial changes, especially under Pep, are rare, but there's an expectation of continuous evolution and innovation. Losing a big game, particularly in the Champions League, is frustrating, but often met with a "we'll get it next year," sometimes tinged with an air of inevitability. The Etihad Stadium, while often a fortress on the pitch, can sometimes be quieter than their rivals' grounds, leading to jokes from opposition fans, which City fans often dismiss. However, big European nights can still be electric. Online, they are quick to defend their club's spending, point out their superior style of play, and remind everyone of their current trophy count, often with a subtle, condescending jab at past critics or less successful clubs. The 2011-12 Premier League title, won dramatically on the final day, was the ultimate validation of their new era. It wasn't just a trophy, it was the moment they finally, definitively, stepped out of United's shadow and announced their arrival as a true force, giving them an almost evangelical zeal, sometimes appearing lucky with key moments. This is why Manchester City fans are the arrogantly lucky. They're basking in glory, but they're never quite letting go of the past, always ready to defend their legitimacy and remind you they paid their dues, often from a position of perceived superiority. Newcastle United fans are known for being the suffering dreamers because, despite decades of frustrating near misses, broken promises, and periods of outright mediocrity, their passion for the club remains absolutely undimmed. They constantly dream of a return to glory, fueled by nostalgic memories of Alan Shearer and Kevin Keegan, and now a new oil-rich hope, all while enduring immense suffering. A core tenet of their fan base is that Newcastle United is more than just a club. It's a religion, the heart and soul of the city. They hold onto memories of the Keegan era and Shearer's goals as the golden standard, eternally believing that this time it's different, even after countless disappointments and years of suffering. The rivalry with Sunderland is visceral and deeply rooted. Transfers were once met with scepticism and often despair, but now they expect big, ambitious signings that reflect their new financial muscle. They will instantly embrace any player who shows passion and commitment to the shirt. Managerial changes, especially post-takeover, are seen as steps towards their glorious future. Losing to Sunderland, or dropping out of Europe, is a major source of anguish and suffering. St James Park, even through the leanest years, remained one of the most passionate and atmospheric stadiums in England. The Toon Army is famous for its unwavering vocal support, creating a wall of sound. Online, Newcastle fans are incredibly active, constantly debating transfer rumours, praising new ownership, and sharing their fervent hopes for the future, often with a raw, emotional honesty born of their suffering. The club's takeover by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund in 2021 completely reshaped their future. It wasn't just about money, it was about the return of ambition, reigniting a long-dormant hope that felt like a rebirth for the entire fan base, a potential end to their suffering. This is why Newcastle United fans are the suffering dreamers. Their passion endures through thick and thin, always believing that someday, somehow, their beloved Magpies will finally reach the heights they've always dreamed of, after so much shared suffering. Everton fans are known for being the cursed loyalists because they've remained incredibly faithful to their club through decades of underachievement and living in their city rival's shadow, enduring immense suffering. Their loyalty is absolute, even as they endure a seemingly endless cycle of disappointment, manager merry-go-rounds, and flirtations with relegation. You'll often find they believe Everton is a sleeping giant, or the People's Club, with a rich history, more league titles than Liverpool, they'll remind you. That should place them higher up the table. They despise being overshadowed by Liverpool and see themselves as the more authentic, hard-working club, despite their suffering on the pitch. Transfers are met with a mixture of desperate hope and resigned scepticism, often convinced the new signing will somehow underperform. They demand effort, grit, and passion from players above all else. Managerial changes are a constant feature, each new appointment hailed as the potential saviour before inevitably succumbing to the Everton curse. Losing the Merseyside derby to Liverpool is pure torture and intense pain, but any loss that contributes to their perennial relegation battle is met with dread. Goodison Park, despite its age, still has a fantastic old-school atmosphere, full of passionate vocal support, especially when the team is struggling, showing their loyalty through suffering. Online, Everton fans are incredibly active, prone to lengthy laments about their club's misfortune, fervent support for their manager, until he inevitably gets sacked, and fierce defence against any criticism, particularly from across Stanley Park. Living in the shadow of Liverpool's dominance for so long has created a unique us against the world mentality. This constant comparison and the relentless fight for respect against their more decorated neighbours has forged an incredibly resilient, albeit suffering, fan base. This is why Everton fans are the cursed loyalists. They stick by their club through thick and thin, forever hoping for a return to past glories, even as they prepare themselves for the next inevitable setback, enduring considerable suffering. Arsenal fan base, the eternally optimistic until the first setback. Arsenal fans are known for being the eternally optimistic until the first setback because every pre-season, every new signing, every early season run brings a wave of "this is our year" enthusiasm, only for it to be swiftly followed by a collective existential crisis at the first sign of trouble. They're a rollercoaster of hope and despair, often within the same 90 minutes. Their common belief, especially during the Wenger era, was that Arsenal plays the beautiful game, a purer form of football. They hold on to the Invincibles season as a golden standard, and any deviation from that level of aesthetic perfection and winning is met with a deep sense of betrayal. Transfers are met with wild speculation and announcement pending memes. If a marquee signing is made, it's proof that Arsenal are back. If a promising youth player is sold, it's just more proof the club's completely messed up. Losing to Tottenham? Unacceptable. Dropping points to a relegation-threatened side. Pure agony and a sign that the sky is falling. The Emirates Stadium can be a library at times, especially if the team isn't performing, leading to the infamous Wenger out chants, or, more recently, Arteta out whispers. Online, they are a hyper-analytical bunch, dissecting every tactical decision, every player's body language. They'll argue amongst themselves ferociously about the club's direction. The move from Highbury to the Emirates, coupled with the financial constraints it imposed, and the subsequent trophy drought, profoundly tested their patience. It created a split between those who stayed loyal to Wenger's vision and those who demanded immediate change, a schism that still echoes. This is why Arsenal fans are the eternally optimistic, until the first setback. They ride a constant wave of what if and nearly, always believing the next corner will bring glory, only to find another banana peel waiting. Aston Villa fans are known for being the arrogant purists because their club boasts a rich, storied history, including a European Cup triumph, which sets them apart from many modern clubs. They carry the weight of this heritage with immense pride, often with a condescending air towards clubs they perceive as having less history or pedigree, expecting their club to consistently compete at the highest level. A core tenet of their fan base is that Aston Villa is a genuine, big club with a proper footballing pedigree, a founding member of the Football League, and a European Cup winner. They often feel that the club isn't given the respect it deserves, particularly when compared to the Premier League's Big Six, a sentiment that can manifest as condescension. The rivalry with Birmingham City, the second city derby, is fiercely contested. Transfers are assessed through the lens of fitting into the club's ambitious vision, often with a focus on experienced, proven talent. They expect players to understand the weight of the claret and blue shirt. Managerial changes are often met with a mix of impatience and renewed hope, always looking for someone to restore the club to its former glory. Losing to Birmingham City or any lesser team is a source of frustration, but they expect to be challenging for European spots, often with a condescending view of their opposition. Villa Park remains a classic English football stadium, and the atmosphere, especially for big games, can be incredibly vibrant and passionate. Online, Aston Villa fans are active, knowledgeable, and quick to defend their club's historical standing and current ambitions against any detractors, sometimes with a condescending dismissal of opposing viewpoints. The 1982 European Cup victory is a cornerstone of their identity. It's not just a dusty old trophy, it's a constant reminder of what the club is capable of, feeding their belief that Villa belongs among Europe's elite, which can contribute to their condescending attitude. This is why Aston Villa fans are the condescending traditionalists. They carry the torch of their club's grand history with immense pride, often from a position of historical superiority, which can make them seem condescending. West Ham United fans are known for being the unbreakable hammers because their club embodies a strong working-class identity and a traditional East End spirit that refuses to be dampened by perpetual West Ham way disappointments or the departure of their best players. Their loyalty is absolute, fueled by a unique sense of community and a defiantly resilient spirit that withstands all setbacks. What defines their supporters' outlook is rooted in the Academy of Football, the club's tradition of producing talented, entertaining players. They proudly identify with the working-class roots of the East End. The rivalry with Millwall, the East London derby, is legendary and deeply ingrained, even if they rarely play each other now. Transfers are met with a mix of hopeful anticipation and cynical dread, often expecting promising signings to underperform or be sold on too soon. They demand passion and effort from players. Skill is secondary to having a go. Managerial changes are a regular occurrence, with each new boss hailed as potentially the one to finally deliver the true West Ham way. Losing to rivals or in a crucial cup game is met with a collective sigh, often followed by a philosophical shrug. Moving from the Boleyn Ground, Upton Park, to the London Stadium was controversial, and while the new stadium is large, many fans feel it lacks the intimate, raw atmosphere of their old home. Despite this, the support remains fiercely passionate, especially for European nights. Online, West Ham fans are vocal, quick to lament their club's misfortunes, and fiercely proud of their unique identity and anthems like "I'm forever blowing bubbles." The West Ham way itself is a philosophy that has defined the club and its fan base. It's about playing attractive, attacking football, often to their own detriment, and it breeds a certain melancholic romanticism among their supporters, which oddly strengthens their enduring bond. This is why West Ham United fans are the unbreakable hammers. They are fiercely loyal, deeply traditional, and forever blowing bubbles of hope, proving that their spirit, much like the club itself, is built to last. Liverpool Fanbase, the hopeful historians. Liverpool fans are known for being the resurgent romantics because after what felt like an eternity for a league title, they finally got to lift it again. This experience has deepened their already profound, almost spiritual connection to the club's history, its famous struggles, and its glorious triumphs. It's often expressed through an unshakable belief that this is our year, even when, let's be honest, all logic suggests otherwise. Their common belief is rooted in the glory days of the 70s and 80s, and the immense pride in their European heritage. "You'll Never Walk Alone" isn't just a song. It's a creed, a defiant shout against adversity. They truly believe in the magic of Anfield and the power of their collective spirit. Transfers are dissected with a surgeon's precision, usually with a blend of hopeful optimism and a lingering fear of historical missteps. They're quick to embrace new heroes, but also fiercely protective of their established stars. Any managerial change, especially after a beloved figure like Klopp, will be met with intense scrutiny, though always with the underlying hope that the next leader can bottle that unique Anfield magic once more. Losing to Everton, or God forbid Manchester United, stings more than a bee in a beehive. Matchday at Anfield, especially European nights, is genuinely goosebump-inducing. The singing, the flags, the sheer volume. It's an experience. Online, they're vocal, passionate, and prone to lengthy debates about historical injustices or tactical nuances. They're quick to defend their club and their own against any perceived slight from rival fans or media. The Hillsborough disaster and the subsequent fight for justice deeply shaped their identity, fostering an incredibly strong sense of community and defiance. This shared history and unyielding pursuit of truth is a fundamental part of what it truly means to be a Liverpool fan. This is why Liverpool fans are the hopeful historians. They believe in destiny, in the power of their collective spirit, and in the idea that even after the darkest night, the sun will rise again over Anfield. Wolverhampton Wanderers fans are known for being the ambitious traditionalists because they are immensely proud of their club's historical achievements, being founding members of the Football League, early pioneers in Europe, while also embracing their modern, often Portuguese-influenced identity and the ambition that comes with it. They expect a stylish, competitive team. You'll often find they believe Wolves are a significant club with a rich, pioneering history, often reminding people of their pre-Premier League success and their role in the creation of European competitions. They're fiercely proud of their Black Country identity. The rivalry with West Bromwich Albion, the Black Country Derby, is intense and historic. Transfers are often met with excitement, particularly if they are high-profile Portuguese players who fit the club's established system. They expect technical quality and tactical discipline. Managerial changes are less frequent when things are going well, but they demand a coach who embodies their ambitious, modern approach. Losing the Black Country Derby or dropping points to perceived lesser teams can be frustrating, as they expect to be challenging for European places. Molineux provides a great atmosphere, particularly for night games, with passionate, vocal support. Online, Wolverhampton Wanderers fans are highly engaged, often discussing player recruitment strategies and the club's long-term vision. They're proud of their unique international flavour and the consistent quality of their squad. The partnership with super agent Jorge Mendes and the influx of Portuguese talent under Fosun's ownership has profoundly reshaped the club's identity. It represents a modern, ambitious approach that has excited the fan base, blending their traditional pride with a new, cosmopolitan outlook. This is why Wolverhampton Wanderers fans are the ambitious traditionalists. They respect their glorious past, but they are firmly focused on building a stylish, competitive future, always aiming higher. Chelsea Fanbase, the mercurial opportunists. Chelsea fans are known for being the mercurial opportunists because their club's modern success was built on a sudden influx of wealth, leading to a fan base that, while passionate, can seem a little less steeped in traditional footballing heritage and more focused on immediate, often ruthless success. They're quick to adapt and quicker to demand change if results aren't forthcoming. Their common belief, particularly post-Abramovich, is that Chelsea should always be competing for the biggest trophies. They care more about winning than sticking with a manager. The philosophy is simple: buy the best, win everything. Transfers? They expect big names and big spending. If a player doesn't hit the ground running, they'll be on his back instantly. Managers are disposable commodities. If results dip for more than a few weeks, the sack chants begin. They've seen so many managerial changes that it's just part of the cycle. Losing to Tottenham or Arsenal is a minor inconvenience compared to not winning the league or Champions League. Stamford Bridge can be loud and intimidating, especially when the team is flying. Online, they're vocal and often engaged in heated debates about player valuations and transfer market gossip. They can also be surprisingly tribal, quick to defend their club's often controversial decisions. Roman Abramovich's takeover in 2003 fundamentally reshaped the club and its fan base. It brought unprecedented success, but also a culture of high turnover and instant gratification, transforming them from a nearly club into a consistent winner. This is why Chelsea fans are the mercurial opportunists. They embrace the chaos, demand success, and are always ready to adapt, provided it leads to more silverware. Brighton and Hove Albion fans are known for being the statistical progressives because their club's rise to the Premier League has been driven by a unique, data-driven and highly intelligent approach to football. They appreciate smart decisions, innovative strategies, and a shrewd business model that has consistently seen their club punch above its weight, often understanding the underlying statistics better than most. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Brighton is a well-run, forward-thinking club that achieved Premier League status through smart planning and statistical development, not just big spending. They take immense pride in their journey from the lower leagues and the fight for a new stadium. They don't have one traditional big rivalry, but matches against Crystal Palace or Pompey can be heated. Transfers are met with cautious optimism, as they trust the club's recruitment team to find hidden gems and develop them, often citing impressive statistical profiles. They value players who fit the team's tactical system and work ethic. Managerial changes are rare when a manager is successful, as they appreciate stability and a clear philosophy. Losing to bigger teams is understood, but they expect competitive performances and a commitment to their progressive style of play, often referencing advanced statistics to explain results. The Amex Stadium offers a modern, family-friendly atmosphere that still generates strong noise and support. Online, Brighton fans are analytical, often discussing statistical nuances, expected goals XG, pressing metrics, and player valuations, reflecting their club's innovative approach. They're proud of their sustainable model and their reputation for punching above their weight, a testament to their statistical prowess. The club's pioneering adoption of a data-driven recruitment and coaching philosophy, including famously ditching their academy for a B-team model, has fundamentally shaped their identity. It's a testament to their belief in innovation and has attracted a fan base that appreciates intelligent, statistical football. This is why Brighton and Hove Albion fans are the statistical progressives. They are proud of their club's smart, progressive approach, always seeking to outperform expectations through intelligent, statistical decision-making on and off the pitch. Tottenham Hotspur Fanbase, the perennial hopefuls with a touch of fatalism. Tottenham Hotspur fans are known for being the perennial hopefuls with a touch of fatalism because they live in a constant state of next year is our year, only for history to inevitably repeat itself with a glorious near miss or a spectacular collapse. They combine an unwavering belief in their club's potential with a deep-seated, almost comedic expectation of disappointment. Their common belief is that Tottenham plays attractive, attacking football, a Spursy way of playing. They often feel overlooked or disrespected by the media and rival fans, which fuels a strong sense of underdog identity, even when they're challenging at the top. The rivalry with Arsenal is deeply personal and defines a significant part of their identity. Transfers are met with cautious optimism, often followed by lamentations about Spursiness if a deal falls through or a player underperforms. Managerial changes are frequent and often accompanied by a sense of, here we go again. Losing to Arsenal is an unmitigated disaster. Losing in a cup final, no matter how well they played, is a given. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is a phenomenal arena, and the atmosphere can be electric, especially during big games. Online, they're active, self-deprecating, and fiercely loyal. They'll create memes about their own misfortune, but will defend their club to the death against external criticism. The phrase Spursy itself has become a self-fulfilling prophecy and a badge of honour. It encapsulates their tendency to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, or to produce moments of unexpected brilliance followed by frustrating inconsistency. It's a defining characteristic. This is why Tottenham Hotspur fans are the perennial hopefuls, with a touch of fatalism. They truly believe in the dream, even as they prepare for the inevitable punchline. Crystal Palace fans are known for being the passionate vocalists because they consistently create one of the most vibrant, passionate, and ear-splitting atmospheres in the Premier League, regardless of their team's league position. Their support is loud, constant, and an almost physical presence that lifts their team, fueled by sheer passion. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Palace represents the raw, authentic spirit of South London football. They pride themselves on their incredible home support and often feel like the gritty, underdog counterpart to the league's more glamorous clubs, showcasing their immense passion. The rivalry with Brighton is surprisingly intense, despite the geographical distance. Transfers are often met with a mix of excitement for any attacking flair and a strong desire for players who embody the club's fighting spirit. They demand effort and commitment above all else, driven by their passionate expectations. Managerial changes are frequent, but fans expect a boss who can motivate the team and get them playing exciting, direct football. Losing to Brighton is a major source of frustration, but they'll back their team even through heavy defeats if the effort and passion are there. Selhurst Park is famous for its intimidating atmosphere, particularly from the Holmesdale Road stand. The noise levels are consistently among the highest in the league, with drums, chants, and flag displays creating a carnival-like intensity, a true display of their passionate devotion. Online, Crystal Palace fans are vocal, proud of their atmosphere, and quick to defend their club's identity and their unique brand of passionate support. The continuous presence of their vocal ultra group, the Holmesdale Fanatics, has elevated the matchday experience at Selhurst Park to an art form, making the stadium a truly difficult place for opposition teams to visit and solidifying their reputation for incredible vocal, passionate support. This is why Crystal Palace fans are the passionate vocalists. They are the beating heart of their club, providing a constant, deafening soundtrack of passion that makes Selhurst Park a truly unique experience. Manchester United fan base, the entitled. Manchester United fans are known for being the entitled because, let's be honest, for about 2 decades, winning was as regular as sunrise. They grew up in an era where trophies were practically handed out at the Old Trafford gates, and anything less than domination feels like a personal affront. Their common belief is that Manchester United deserves to be at the top. Not just can be, or should be, but deserves to be. Any period of struggle is a temporary aberration, a cosmic injustice that will inevitably be corrected because, well, they're Manchester United. The treble from '99 isn't just a memory, it's the baseline for all future expectations. Transfers? Oh, the drama. If United don't sign the biggest, most expensive name on the planet, it's a sign of gross incompetence from the board. Outgoing players are either disloyal traders if they go to a rival, or utterly useless deadwood if they leave for less glamorous pastures. And managerial changes? A new manager is either the second coming of Fergie or an immediate charlatan after 2 bad results. There's no middle ground. Their online presence is a sight to behold. They'll flood social media with all out or Ten Hag in hashtags faster than you can say Glory. Even after a win. Matchday atmosphere at Old Trafford can still be intimidating for opponents, but for their own players, it can quickly turn into a pressure cooker if things aren't going perfectly. The shadow of Sir Alex Ferguson looms large. His sustained success built this expectation, this almost divine right to win. Anything less than consistent silverware is seen as a betrayal of that legacy. This is why Manchester United fans are the entitled. They've seen the mountaintop, and anything less than a panoramic view from the summit just isn't good enough. Leeds United fans are known for being the suffering pilgrims because they've endured years in the wilderness, watching their once mighty club fall through the divisions, yet their loyalty never wavered, all while experiencing immense suffering. Their journey back to the Premier League was an emotional pilgrimage, and they carry a fierce pride, a deep-seated grievance against perceived injustices, and an unwavering belief in their club's stature, despite the pain. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Leeds United is a sleeping giant, a club of immense historical significance that simply belongs in the top flight and European competitions. They often feel targeted by officials and media, fostering a strong us against the world mentality, born from years of suffering and perceived unfairness. The rivalry with Manchester United is incredibly intense and often extends beyond the pitch. Transfers are met with fervent hope and high expectations, demanding players who embody the club's fighting spirit and commitment. They expect relentless effort and a never-say-die attitude. Managerial changes, especially after a successful period, can be painful, but they demand a coach who understands the Leeds way of attacking high-intensity football. Losing to Manchester United is simply unacceptable, and any defeat is often met with passionate, if sometimes critical analysis that reflects their suffering. Elland Road is an iconic, old-school stadium that generates an absolutely electric, intimidating atmosphere, especially under the floodlights. The noise from the Marching On Together chant is legendary, a testament to their loyalty through suffering. Online, Leeds fans are omnipresent, fiercely loyal, prone to extreme emotional swings, and quick to defend their club's reputation and size against any critics. The financial collapse in the early 2000s, which saw them relegated and almost go out of business, was a crucible that forged an incredibly resilient fan base, united in their suffering. Their long, arduous climb back through the divisions solidified their identity as suffering pilgrims, utterly devoted to seeing their club restored to glory despite the pain. Concluding statement: this is why Leeds United fans are the suffering pilgrims. They've walked through fire for their club, emerging with an even stronger, fiercely proud, and utterly unshakable belief in their inevitable return to glory, having endured so much suffering. Fulham fans are known for being the irrelevant romantics because their club embodies a more traditional, almost genteel approach to football, nestled by the Thames in leafy West London. They appreciate attractive football, a strong community feel, and the unique charm of Craven Cottage, often valuing the experience as much as the result, even if their club often feels a bit irrelevant in the grand scheme of the Premier League. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Fulham is a unique, historic club with a distinct charm and a commitment to playing attractive football. They pride themselves on the traditional feel of Craven Cottage and their loyal, often understated fan base. They don't have a major, fiery rivalry, but matches against Chelsea or QPR carry local bragging rights, though these rarely register as relevant to the wider league. Transfers are generally met with sensible optimism, with an emphasis on players who fit a technical passing style. They appreciate skill and composure on the ball. Managerial changes are assessed calmly, looking for a coach who can maintain their footballing philosophy, while they enjoy winning. An exciting, well-played match can often soften the blow of a defeat, sometimes making their aspirations seem irrelevant to survival. Craven Cottage offers one of the most picturesque and relaxed matchday experiences in the Premier League, especially the charming Johnny Haynes stand. The atmosphere is usually appreciative and supportive, though it can still get loud for big moments. Online, Fulham fans are typically less aggressive than other fan bases, focusing on reasoned discussions about tactics and player performances, rarely becoming relevant in the broader fan discourse. The unique, historic setting of Craven Cottage itself is a defining aspect of their identity. Its location by the river, the classic architecture, and the sense of stepping back in time contributes to a relaxed, almost romantic view of their football club, even if it contributes to their perceived irrelevance in the modern, high-stakes Premier League. This is why Fulham fans are the irrelevant romantics. They cherish the beauty of the game, the charm of their home, and a footballing experience that feels genuinely traditional and unique, even if their impact on the wider league often feels irrelevant. Brentford fans are known for being the statistical achievers because their club's rise to the Premier League has been driven by a unique, data-driven, and highly intelligent approach to football. They appreciate smart decisions, innovative strategies, and a shrewd business model that has consistently seen their club punch above its weight, often understanding the underlying statistics better than most. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Brentford is a model club, proving that success can be achieved through smart analytics, player development, and a clear, consistent philosophy, even without massive financial backing. They take immense pride in their unique methodology, which is heavily reliant on statistics. They have a fierce West London rivalry with QPR and Fulham. Transfers are met with an almost academic interest. They trust the club's data-driven recruitment system to find undervalued gems. They expect players to be tactically versatile and committed to the team's high-pressing, attacking style. Managerial changes are rare, as they value continuity and a coach who aligns with the club's overall vision. Losing is disappointing, but they often analyse the underlying metrics and performance indicators to understand the outcome, always referencing statistics. The Brentford Community Stadium is modern and intimate, generating a surprisingly loud and passionate atmosphere for a relatively smaller club. Online, Brentford fans are highly analytical, often discussing expected goals, XG, pressing metrics, and player valuations, reflecting their club's innovative approach and deep understanding of statistics. They are proud of being the Moneyball team of the Premier League. The club's pioneering adoption of a data-driven recruitment and coaching philosophy, including famously ditching their academy for a B-team model, has fundamentally shaped their identity. It's a testament to their belief in innovation and has attracted a fan base that appreciates intelligent, statistical football. Concluding statement, this is why Brentford fans are the statistical achievers. They are proud of their club's smart, progressive approach, always seeking to outperform expectations through intelligent, statistical decision-making on and off the pitch. Nottingham Forest fans are known for being the painfully nostalgic because their club boasts one of the most incredible histories in English football, 2 European Cups, yet they spent decades languishing outside the top flight, a source of immense pain. Their return to the Premier League was a deeply emotional event, and they carry a fierce pride in their past while yearning for a return to former glories, often dwelling on this painful gap. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Nottingham Forest is a true European giant, a sleeping giant awakened, with a legacy that transcends their recent struggles. They worship Brian Clough and Peter Taylor, constantly reminding everyone of their European Cup triumphs, sometimes to the painful exclusion of current realities. The rivalry with Derby County, the East Midlands Derby, is intense and historic. Transfers are met with intense excitement and high expectations, often involving a flurry of new signings to bolster their squad. They demand passion and a commitment to fighting for the badge. Managerial changes have been frequent in the past, but the return to the Premier League has brought a new sense of stability and ambition. Losing to Derby County is unthinkable, but any defeat after such a long wait to return to the top flight is met with deep disappointment and fresh pain. The City Ground, nestled by the Trent, has always had a passionate, vocal atmosphere, which has only intensified since their promotion. The noise levels are incredible, reflecting their pent-up energy and excitement, often mixed with a painful longing for bygone eras. Online, Nottingham Forest fans are incredibly active, prone to reminiscing about past glories, and fiercely protective of their club's legendary status. The back-to-back European Cup victories under Brian Clough in 1979 and 1980 are the absolute bedrock of their identity. These achievements, almost unimaginable for a club of their size today, fuel a deep nostalgia and a burning desire to somehow replicate that impossible dream, often causing pain at the contrast with the present. Concluding statement, this is why Nottingham Forest fans are the painfully nostalgic. They carry the weight of an incredible history, celebrating their return to the top flight while forever dreaming of reclaiming their place among Europe's elite, often with a painful awareness of how far they've fallen. Bournemouth fans are known for being the sun-kissed survivors because their club represents a charming underdog story, rising from the lower leagues to establish themselves in the Premier League against all financial odds. They appreciate grit, hard work, and a team that consistently fights above its weight, all from their picturesque coastal town. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Bournemouth is a testament to what a well-run club with a strong identity and a committed manager can achieve, even with a small budget. They take immense pride in their journey through the divisions and their status as a plucky underdog. They don't have a major historical rivalry, but local derbies against Southampton or Portsmouth generate extra buzz. Transfers are often sensible, focusing on players who fit the team's high energy, attacking philosophy. They value effort, teamwork, and a willingness to run through brick walls. Managerial changes are often met with apprehension, as they appreciate stability and a clear vision. Losing to bigger teams is understood, but they expect competitive performances and a never-say-die attitude. The Vitality Stadium, one of the smallest in the Premier League, offers an intimate, friendly atmosphere where every cheer and groan is amplified. The support is passionate and appreciative of their team's efforts, Online, Bournemouth fans are generally positive, focusing on celebrating their club's continued presence in the top flight and discussing how to defy expectations. Eddie Howe's incredible journey from player to manager, leading the club from League Two to the Premier League, became an almost mythical story for the fan base. It cemented their identity as a club that could achieve the impossible through belief, hard work, and a strong collective spirit. This is why Bournemouth fans are the sun-kissed survivors. They embody the spirit of a resilient underdog, constantly battling against the odds and cherishing every moment in the Premier League sunshine. Sunderland fans are known for being the hopeless hopefuls because they possess an almost unparalleled level of devotion, having stuck by their club through multiple relegations, financial turmoil, and years in the lower leagues, often feeling utterly doomed to repeat cycles of despair. Their passion is raw, visceral, and their comeback is seen as a testament to their unshakable loyalty, despite their persistent, doomed fate. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Sunderland is a working-class club, the true heart of the North East, and a sleeping giant deserving of Premier League football. They often feel misunderstood and underestimated. The rivalry with Newcastle United, the Tyne-Wear derby, is one of the most intense and bitter in English football, defining a huge part of their identity, often feeling doomed to second best. Transfers are met with cautious optimism, often hoping for a transformative signing, but also with a weary knowledge of past disappointments and a sense of being doomed to failure. They demand players who understand the club's history and fight for the shirt. Managerial changes are frequent, each new boss bringing a flicker of hope that quickly gets tested and often fails, leaving them doomed to another struggle. Losing the Tyne-Wear derby is an unmitigated disaster, but any defeat is met with a passionate, often despairing intensity. The Stadium of Light, despite its vast size, can generate an incredible, deafening atmosphere, particularly during big games or when the team is performing well. The sheer volume of support, even during their darkest days, is legendary, a demonstration of loyalty to a doomed cause. Online, Sunderland fans are incredibly active, prone to emotional highs and lows, and fiercely dedicated to proving their club's enduring greatness. The Netflix documentary, Sunderland Till I Die, perfectly captured the unique passion, resilience, and heartbreak of their fan base. It showcased their unwavering loyalty through unimaginable lows, solidifying their image as one of the most devoted and doomed fan bases in football. This is why Sunderland fans are the hopeless hopefuls. Their loyalty is absolute, forged in adversity, and they represent the unwavering, passionate heart of football in the North East, always ready to roar again, even with a sense of being perpetually doomed to battle against the odds. Burnley fans are known for being the gritty sufferers because their club is a true underdog, consistently defying expectations and punching above its weight in the Premier League, primarily through sheer hard work, a tight-knit squad, and unwavering commitment. They embody the stoic, resilient spirit of Lancashire football, often enduring suffering in the relegation battles. What defines their supporters' outlook is that Burnley represents honest, hard-working football, a club that achieves success through dedication and collective effort, rather than flashy spending. They take immense pride in their club's long history as a founding member of the Football League and their 2 top-flight titles, often achieved through suffering and grit. The rivalry with Blackburn Rovers, the East Lancashire derby, is deeply rooted. Transfers are typically shrewd and pragmatic, focusing on players who fit the team's strong work ethic and tactical discipline. They demand maximum effort and a never-say-die attitude from every player. Managerial changes are rare when a manager delivers stability, as they value consistency. Losing to Blackburn Rovers is a significant setback, but they often accept defeats against bigger teams if the effort was evident, understanding the suffering required to stay in the league. Turf Moor is a traditional no-frills English stadium with a compact, intimidating atmosphere, where the fans are close to the pitch and make their presence felt. The support is passionate, loud, and incredibly loyal, even when the team is struggling and suffering. Online, Burnley fans are proud of their club's resilience, its financial stability, and its ability to consistently compete against wealthier opponents. Their consistent ability to punch above their weight and stay in the Premier League for extended periods, often under managers like Sean Dyche, has solidified their identity. It showcases their core values of hard work, resilience, and a pragmatic approach to the game, often through periods of intense suffering on the pitch. Concluding statement: this is why Burnley fans are the gritty sufferers. They represent the tough, resilient heart of Lancashire football, fiercely proud of their club's hard-earned success and unwavering in their support, often enduring considerable suffering to achieve it.